ahead and start with Julia and then Annie.
Teresa, just wanted to ask, starting out about Kamilla's injury, can you kind of just what that looked like and just kind of how you guys have been handling the that you guys about?
Yes, it's truly an unfortunate situation because she was doing extremely well. And it's an unfortunate situation that we're having to deal with, but we're going to deal with it in the right way. We've been told 4 to 6 weeks, but she's pretty tough. You guys, that's a tough young lady, so it could very well be before that. So 4 to 6 weeks is what we've been told, but she's working hard to get herself back as quickly as possible.
Are you able to share the specifics of the injury?
No.
And then when you're going through preseason and you're dealing with injuries like this, and then you include Brenna Maxwell and that, how do you go about evaluating, your roster when you have cuts to make?
Well, the good thing is the next man up is what you always talk about is next man up. But when the injuries occur, it's a tough situation because you all know that our training camp is very, very short, but you still want to make sure you give them an opportunity to be seen. You have to, it's a must.
And then obviously some big news today with the league getting ready to announce that charter travel will be happening. Did the team, to your knowledge, have any knowledge prior to today about this news?
It's a CBA thing and I definitely can't comment. So.
Then maybe like big picture question, going back to again your days in the WNBA and seeing the evolution of the league. How important is something like charter travel and how proud are you of this moment, I guess?
Can't comment. It's just that sensitive.
Go Nancy, then Steven, and Carly.
Teresa, someone to follow up, but I'm not going to ask you specifically about the charters, but just the growth that you've seen in the league, particularly what you've been seeing really just even in the last week or so.
Yeah.
Would you have imagined it when you were playing? And what is it like to know that this is finally happening, all the things that you all have pushed for, the foundations that have been laid over these 3 decades?
It's a great question because it's an awesome thing to see the growth. We talk about the talent level and how great it is, how versatile it is, and how much fun it is to watch. And I think all of us have had an opportunity to pay attention to the many eyes that are upon us now, and what our young ladies have done, have added to what has already started, but they've added to it. And there's so many eyes that are upon us, and the growth of the game and having people to really enjoy what we do and talk about what we do in a very positive way has been great.
If I could just follow up, there's so much attention to the contracts and the charters, but what other things do you want, especially the new fans for W? What do you want them to do? How do you want them to engage with not just the league, but other women's sports in general?
Oh, I try to stay very, very positive about a lot of things and make sure that I'm not commenting where I cannot comment. But when you're talking about, just sports in general, women in general, this is a great thing to see. And I think a lot of us would say that because the battle that has been fought for many, many years, those shoulders that we are on to do the things that we do, the paths that have been paved in order for us to do what we do. This is a great thing to see across the board when it comes to women's sports. It's an awesome thing to see. And the only thing that's going to happen is it's going to continue to grow.
Steven and Carly.
Hey, Coach. You all talked about after the last preseason game, leaving some food on the table and instead some offensive side of the ball. I was curious as far as your process, what are you looking to kind of hammer home a little bit more?
Well, we want to just execute a little bit better. Down the stretch, we turn the ball over a lot. To be expected. We're all learning one another, getting better as we go. Every rep matters to us. So every possession is important. So we want to be better at execution offensively and then communicating really, really well defensively, because that's the only way we're going to be successful.
Follow-up is going to be on the defensive side. Do you feel like their defense is going to play a heavy part into how productive the offense can be? Kind of looking maybe down the line.
Well, we want to be a team that's about defensive stops. We want to be able to stop people and then have our offensive runs. We want defense to fuel us. A lot of times you hear it the other way, but we want defense to fuel us, and then we will get into our offensive runs. We have some very, very talented young ladies who's about that grit and grind on the defensive side of the ball. But then when we push it, we also have a group of young ladies that can play on the offensive side of the ball. Thank you.
Hey, Coach Boone, we've talked a lot just about the most group, but when you look specifically at Angel, you guys have just said that she's kind of transitioned
a lot smoother than you guys probably anticipated into the W. What have you seen, you know, her growth throughout training camp, and how have you seen her kind of transition into the pro game here in the last week and a half?
Well, she wants to grow, and that's the biggest part of it, is wanting it. She desires it. She's a leader, you know, and I'll say this over and over and over. They've come from championship programs, and they're coached very, very well. And so that transition is all confidence, and they're very confident in who they are and what they bring to an organization, and that's the difference. They walk on the floor like they belong, and when they walk out there like that, with your shoulders broad and ready to compete, that's the difference maker.
And then to kind of follow up on leadership, how have you seen Diamond really take ownership of this leadership role that she's kind of come into, especially with the team that she was with and now coming back?
Yeah, it's great to have her back. We call her the comeback kid. I think you all understand why we call her the comeback kid, but she's taken on that leadership role, and her life really speaks volumes of something being taken away from you, and then you have to fight to get it back. So when she speaks, it's loud. It's loud, and she's taken on that role, and we're proud of it.
Will Angel be under any kind of restriction tonight just for travel of the last minute?
Absolutely not. I'm very proud of Angel and Kamilla with what they've done, what they're going to continue to do. And these past 2 days for them, yesterday and then being able to come back today, was big. It was huge. It's something they earned. They deserved it. And I'm just proud that they had an opportunity to be celebrated.
And then just a quick follow-up on Kamilla as well. We hear from athletes a lot how isolating injuries can be, and I feel like that would be even more so for a rookie. Just kind of how do you guys balance that, especially if you get into the travel season, making sure that she feels like she's really integrated?
Yeah, and you're right. When you're injured and you're not able to perform, it can kind of be heavy on you. And she's one who wants to play. She wants to play, and she has a heart of a lion. I'll say this every single day. An amazing young lady, amazing player. We all know that. But we will never make her feel that way. Don't want her to feel that way, because she's a huge part of our success. And she's talking too. I mean, it's amazing, you guys. If you ever watch us, you'll see everybody communicating with one another. And she's doing that from where she is right now. She's working to get herself back.
We know Angel was at the Met. Kamilla was at the screening or the debut of the documentary, is that right?
Yes.
Have you been able to see it yet?
I have not, but I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be awesome. She's in it, so I'm excited about it.
Nancy?
Follow up on Angel. How big of a deal is it for a team to have somebody that comes in with, you know, her level of frankly celebrity? That, you know, the fact that she's the first WNBA rookie, one of the only few W players to go to the Met Gala, and to be representing not just herself but this guy.
It's big, you know, and there was no way that we as an organization were going to take that away from her. It's a big thing. When you're called and asked to be a part of that, I mean, you better get your nice little outfit on and go get out of here. Go and enjoy the moment, because your name was called for a certain reason. You represent yourself well, and what you do, they wouldn't call you otherwise. She represents herself well. This is something that she earned, and we're just excited about what she's going to continue to earn.
Any more for Coach? Thank you, Coach.
Appreciate you all being here.
If you didn't get black and white wristbands, so check in, please see Tristan. Thank you.
Can't believe none of y'all actually have to live here. I can't believe.